Next up, guys. I'll tell you guys about the good bets and I'll tell you guys about the bad bets, right? Charlie Campbell, 3 units, minus 150 on the Contender Series. I felt like it was a gift. I was like, this guy's better than Chris Duncan. He hits harder. He's faster. He's got more diversity to his strikes. He mixes in the wrestling. He mixes in the grappling. He's got well-rounded skills. Charlie the Cannibal fights out of New York, guys. Longo and Weidman, MMA. Matt Serra, jiu-jitsu trained individual. So you know that New York is riding hard for our guy. And he lost on the Contender Series, right? He got flattened. He got knocked out. It was in certainly brutal fashion, but he responded well. He got back out there. He got a decision win on the grappling mats, which is smart. Go out there, get your skills up, continue to work on your stuff. Leave that brain alone, right? Give it a little bit of time to rest and recover. So he got right back to work. He got right back to competition, but he took 8-9 months out of the cage. Then he got back in. First round knockout in the CFFC. He was a CFFC guy. He's had stints in Bellator as well. The guy's been around taking on hard challengers. He lost all the way back in 2019 at Ring of Combat, which is another New York-based promotion that's pretty damn good. So it was crazy because Madness is pointing out he was flattened after having Chris Duncan in La La Land. Absolutely. Charlie Campbell is a beast, says Pepe. You know what's up, Pepe. These New York guys will teach you how to wrestle once again. And this guy, Charlie Cannibal, is no different, right? Big power in his hands, good ability to mix in his wrestling and his grappling when he so chooses. But he's a violent individual, guys, and he wants to hurt people. He wants to mix it up on the feet. And I think that ultimately that is where he is the most effective. But I also think for his own sake, why does he not just mix in his full tool belt of skills here? I think that would be the wise thing to do. He's taking on a more experienced fighter here in the 13-3, Alex, the Executioner Reyes. But Reyes is 36 years of age, and guys, he has not fought since 2017. Canceled bouts against Nasrat Haqparast, in which Reyes had an injury. He withdrew from the Trevor Peek fight he had scheduled in February. Natan Levy then withdrew from a scheduled bout between these two, and that leaves Charlie the Cannibal fill in for his spot, right? So Alex Reyes is a guy that hasn't fought since a knockout loss to Mike Perry in 2017. That was his only UFC fight. So I guess the reason his contract is not out is because he only had one fight on that deal. I guess the UFC never cut him along the way, but I don't know why this guy's still here. It doesn't seem like he's still a pro fighter to me. I would assume he had to have made money doing something else. So it says MMA coach and gym owner, the black belt in BJJ. So want to give him all that credit and respect. So Alex Reyes seems to be working with the guys over at Extreme Couture. At least 2 weeks ago. Let's see where he's getting work on the mat. Yeah, this guy's getting very good work on the mats. I got to give you guys the truth. I'm looking at Alex Reyes on Instagram. He's training over at Drysdale's. For you guys that aren't familiar, Drysdale, one of the best American grapplers that there is, period. Syndicate, he's getting worked in. He's cross-training at the UFC PI. Seems like he's working with a lot of really quality people, but it definitely seems like he's adopted more of that coaching role. Looks like he might be coaching for Bobby Green and those a little bit along the way, and potentially cornering as well. So yeah, he's definitely been staying around the fight game, right? He's not a complete stranger. He is signed to Iridium Fight Team. So, one of the most popular management companies right now. I'll leave it at that. Go check out what my guy MMA AI had to say about that. If you want to really educate yourself on the industry and the business, those guys at Iridium, they're hard to ignore, right? But I just think of this guy, and I don't know what to make of him, really. I'm going to revisit the tape. I don't know what it'll tell me, but I feel like Charlie the Cannibal is just more of a fighter right now. A guy who's living the life more, a guy who's in the lifestyle more, and not as a, 50% in, 50% out. I'm here to be a coach. I'm here to be this. I feel like he's all in on being an athlete right now. And I feel like he's got a lot to prove. in front of UFC fans, in front of UFC audiences. He knows what happens last time, and he wasn't happy about it. I'm sure he's a really talented guy. He didn't get to show that off. Got a little overexcited. I feel like here he might be a little bit patient, might be a little bit reserved, but I feel like Charlie the Cannibal is going to find a way to get this done because he's a hell of a fighter. He's got good abilities, and I think he could win. Hopefully he mixes up his pocket defense and mixes in the grappling. Absolutely. Have you read about what he's been through? Spinal infection and was bedridden, horrible stuff. I don't know how he bounces back after 6 years, though, man. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that either. 36 and 5-year layoff sounds like a paycheck. Very possible. All very possible, guys. I want to read more about that injury. Thank you, Mayor of Midville. That's a very good point. I'm glad that you brought that up. And this is why when we do these first looks, right, sometimes I won't understand why the fight's being made. Sometimes I won't understand, and it will become more apparent after doing research. I think the UFC would love to have a guy like Charlie on their roster, period, because he swings hammers. He's willing to go out there and have a fun fight. And frankly, I think they wanted Natan Levy to win this one. Natan Levy, just had a viral moment on social media. Again, I don't want to, bring up stuff outside the fight world, but like basically this guy was talking some stuff bad about the Jews. And our guy Natan Levy was like, yeah, if you feel that way, why don't you come say it to me in a sparring round? And he gave that guy the business and let him know what time it was. So Natan Levy just had his own viral moment. I feel like the UFC was trying to capitalize on that, give him an easy winnable fight here. He ends up having to pull out of the fight. I'm not sure what went on there, but now they're bringing in Charlie the Cannibal. I feel like this is a fight where they don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we got a young guy who's been way more active, who's been very dangerous, coming off that CFFC scene, very high level regional scene. Feel like he's going to get the win here, and I think he's going to get it done inside the distance, but it's a volatile fight for me.